Okay, so let's get talking. COVID-19 Delta variant.
Yeah.
Talks of a possible third wave of the virus. Let's begin with you because, of course, you have. I had to go through the article which you forwarded to me some days ago.
Yeah.
How come we are where we are just when we're about to celebrate our victory over the COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you very much. With one's background in botany, biological sciences, one knows very well that when we talk about a virus, it is an obligate parasite. That is, it cannot live on its own. It must live within the body of another living thing. And it could become very violent, growing rapidly, causing a lot of damages and all the rest. I'm not too surprised because I followed the events as they unfolded with regards to the first one, the pandemic, the one from Wuhan, China that time, and all the effects across the globe. So I know that there is the possibility of mutation. Mutation simply means that there are changes in, the structures that make up that virus. But this time around, it is not just one variant. Right. There are several, but they'll be able to identify this Delta variant from India. Early this year, knowing fully well that it is, according to the World Health Organization, very, very, very virulent. It's one that the transmission ability is far stronger than the first variant that we had.
Okay.
That's between one human being and another. That's why we have to be very, very careful. People should not take it as if it's a joke. I took note of the reactions to my essays. Some people were saying it's politically motivated, it's something that is a lie, but it's not. It's not a lie. For instance, from India, at first, by June, it was just about 62 countries, snowballed to 80. As we are speaking now, it's about 104 countries.
Yes, it's amazing that even in America, people still have doubts about the virus and vaccination. Segun, let's get your perspective about this Delta variant and possible talks of a third wave, possible talks of another lockdown if things become really terrible, especially here in Lagos.
Yes, the governor too had alerted Nigerians, Mr. Governor, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, which it's a worth commending because he had done that before when the first wave came. With his the Commissioner for Health, Professor Abayami. So I think their fast track approach, is worth commending, and exactly what they are trying to do again at this Delta variant. So what we need is forecasting and planning ahead, and we have seen it in the governor. So what I want to advocate is allowing other countries to begin to see the need for the advocacy and put in place more preventive measures so that we can be able to stem devices from escalation.
All right, let's cross over live to Enugu where Ambrose is standing by. Ambrose, thank you so much for standing by to speak with us this afternoon. Let's get your perspective about this Delta variant and possible talks of a third wave of the virus, possible talks of another lockdown. I don't know, give us a picture of what it is like in the coal city, Enugu.
The coast city is calm. The variant, the news of the variant came from Lagos, just as usual. When the first coronavirus cases came to Nigeria, they came from Lagos too, because it's understandable, Lagos being a hub of international entry into Nigeria. So other states are keenly watching what is taking place in Lagos, and from the experience of the first attack of the pandemic in Nigeria, many states, including Enugu State, have put up measures. There are isolation centers. Also, the jabs of the vaccines have been given to some people, and they are also available. So for now, it's all being watchful, and Nigerians are watching to see what this one entails. We also know that European countries and the Western world are also watching. For now, I think the best would be to increase the advocacy level to ensure that people know what to do. And then I think we should also deviate from the scaremongering approach. For me, I think we should more go into educational approach of the matter by telling people there are various ways, apart from the prevention, which is the physical prevention, which is wearing of masks and social distancing, which should be applicable. There are also other ways. For example, how is our NCDC, the Ministry of Health, and NMA and other health practitioners telling our people what to do in terms of boosting of the immune system? Because it has been established that a strong immune system will be able to have some kind of fight against the COVID-19 virus. Therefore, we should also ramp up advocacy in that respect. It has been very low. Our people have not been told what to do in terms of strengthening their immune system. That should be a new area where we can focus our energy on, while maintaining the laid down principles and protocols that is engaged in social distance protocol as it concerns COVID-19. When we put all this together, then we could be able to now say that we are ready to fight the pandemic. And also, it is surprising that more than a year after, we have not even sought out for alternatives, local alternatives to the issue of COVID-19 and how to fight it. It is expected that it will keep mutating like this. It is the nature of viruses until we are able to have a comprehensive approach to it. But from medical experts and from all the commentaries, informed commentaries on the disease, it is clear that this virus itself can be actually fought, curtailed, and actually isolated if the right things are done. So this is what we concentrate on, and especially our local remedies, our local solutions to the problem. A lot of practitioners came up with a lot of claims. How has NAFDAC been able to evaluate this? Or are we just dependent on the West and their vaccines? This is a very dangerous trend for us, because if we continue to do what we do in terms of how we import all consumables down to toothpick and toilet tissue, if we are going to do that for our health, then it's going to be a sorry situation indeed. Because we remember what happened last year when the vaccines came up. Other countries, especially even when at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, we couldn't have enough oxygen. And then other countries were hoarding their oxygen because they had to use it for their own citizens. Therefore, it is also on us to make sure that we have enough cylinders. Gladly, I learned during the week that a Nigerian has opened a gas cylinder plant somewhere in the north central states. What is the federal government doing to support that kind of individual to ensure that it must produce this oxygen? I hear that it can produce 100 cylinders per day. These are the kind of things we are looking forward to make sure that we are able to get ready to confront the pandemic.
Very terrible stage anymore, guys. We have to round off on this now, but isn't it a shame that up until now we are yet to produce a local solution to the pandemic?
Let me go straight into that.
I mean, because we've had the AstraZeneca vaccines. I understand the government we're waiting for the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson and other vaccines. I mean, when people have come up with local solutions and all of that.
Exactly so. I think it has to do with a very wrong mindset of always thinking and depending on foreign countries for what we have the capacity and the capability to produce locally. For instance, Professor Maurice Uyu, he had his own. In fact, right from the time there was this Ebola virus, he came up with his own. I mean, one of those ingredients he used, just one of the local, fruits that we take often, right? So that just bitter cola. Now, after that, we've had 5 researchers from the University of Ibadan that have come up with another, solution to it. And also, there was the news of a doctoral student, doing his PhD at the University of Ilorin, that came up with something from what? Pineapple. And so many things of this nature. I think that as at now, NAFDAC should be doing much more than what we have seen. Instead, for instance, I was a little shocked as at the time he came up and said, oh, the foreign one that had everybody had just other countries said, oh, that's what we are going for, that they are going for. No, we should think inwards. We should look at the ones that are available and subject them to a lot of tests, and make sure that so far they reach international standard. We look at the safety level. We look at are there any other side effects that could come up from them? If not, then why not adopt them? You recall that syphilis, as at that time, and one or two of these South African countries, they came up with their own variant. I mean, more or less solution to it. They came up with some vaccines they tested, and to some extent there was a high level of compliance in terms of.
I remember the Madagascar oil
also. Yes, Madagascar too. That we are even some of us are even thinking of adopting. So things of that nature. I think we have the we have the brains, we have the minds. So, but what happens is that the leaders have to reorientate themselves, think inwards, and fund. Because I've always written about this issue of funding our research.
For research.
Our research.
Something that governments need to take very seriously.
Yes. That's maybe that's what I would indeed want to build upon. The funding aspect, the government's commitment at state, federal level, even at local government level. All those things are key. When Madagascar came up with their own, we also saw what the World Health Organization played, the role they played, that eventually led to Madagascar withdrawing from World Health Organization. So we must own what we produce. We must appreciate what we produce, even beyond the COVID-19 vaccine. So by the time we begin to appreciate what we produce, we can be able to move and give example to other African countries.
It's interesting because this administration believes that we should eat what we produce and we should produce what we eat.
The government they are very good to practice. They don't practice what they preach.
Okay, well,
they don't practice what they preach.
So the virus is still out there. We still need to protect ourselves. If we need to take the vaccines, I understand we're about to begin the second jab for most parts of the country. So go out there and take your vaccines.